this week's been really busy. I went back to work for like the first time in like 7 or 8 months. I don't even know when I stopped working now. It's been a hot minute. And it's been quite the adjustment. I wanted to work on the painting that I started last week because I feel like there's some parts of it that are really... Okay, I'm gonna close my window. Everyone needs to stop bothering me. There's some parts of it that I feel like are just really unfinished, so I kind of want to finish them. I've done like a little bit of painting today already, but I'm gonna start like doing more. I feel like for some reason it feels like my first time filming a YouTube video because this week has been the longest week of my life. It feels like I haven't like filmed a video in forever, which, you know, usually I film throughout the week, but this week I've done no filming. I've had no time, so sorry about that. But today we're gonna just do like paint and talk type of thing. So first thing I kind of want to talk about is my sleep schedule. My sleep schedule has been the worst it's ever been since I was like a teenager during summer vacation. It's been awful. I've been going to bed at like 5 a.m. and waking up at like 9 a.m. and then going to work and then doing the same thing over again every day. Explain to me how that makes any sense. So that's not sustainable. I knew that like going to work was gonna be a big adjustment, and I was feeling kind of anxious about going back. I feel like I talked about that a lot in like the last few months. I mean, I'm not super surprised that I'm having trouble adjusting or anything like that. I kind of like expected it, so it's whatever right now. Hopefully next week though, I get it together a little bit more. I feel like I say that every week, but hopefully this week is a bit different. We'll see, I guess. I'm really liking the direction that this painting is going in. Sometimes though I have like a tendency to get like a bit too precious with the things I'm working with because I'm afraid to ruin them. Because I have ruined a lot of paintings in my life. Shocker. I feel like though it's never good to be afraid to ruin something. I feel like that's how you kind of know you're going down the wrong path if you're being a bit too precious, and I really don't want to do that. I feel like fear can kill a painting because it can prevent you from taking important risks. In general though, I feel like taking risks in art is never a bad thing, unless you're doing a commission. I would recommend never taking a risk if you're doing a commission. Just play it safe. If you feel like your work is stagnant and it's not changing and you want it to change, it's probably because you're not taking enough risks. You're literally bored. And I've been there. Actually, I was there for years after university, and sometimes I'm still there. Sometimes I'm like, feel like I don't take enough risks, which is why I feel like it's important to constantly be questioning myself and pushing myself. If you feel like your work is... I don't understand why, like, as soon as I turn on my camera, it gets incredibly loud. It was quiet all day. You might be afraid to do something new, even though you've been doing the same thing, like, over and over again, and you want to do something new. It's scary sometimes, but I feel like it's also exciting. I don't know. These are just thoughts, you know? Also, it's really, really hot in here because I turned off my fan and I set up my lights, and I feel like I'm literally just an egg cooking in the Arizona sun. I'm not from Arizona, never been there, but that's exactly how I feel right now. Anyway, I feel like I have to constantly remind myself that the worst thing that could ever happen if I take a risk is that I make a bad painting. That's pretty much the worst thing that could ever happen. And can I handle that? Yeah, I can handle that because I've done a lot of bad paintings and nothing happened. I just didn't show them to anyone. And if people somehow did see my bad work, it was like, well, you know, happens to the best of us, right? I don't know. Now I'm trying to like embrace change. I'm trying to like experiment a little bit more. I feel like I've had so many technical difficulties in like the last 10 minutes that I'm almost like, is this a sign to like not finish this video? Okay, so my memory card turned off, my phone stopped recording, and I was talking for a while, so I don't know where I left off in all of this, but I'm gonna just try my best. Basically, all I wanted to say is if you're feeling like you need a change in your work and you feel like it's difficult to make that change, just take baby steps in experimenting with stuff. Keep things interesting for yourself. Keep them spicy. That's what I always say. Never said that in my life. When I was in school, one of my teachers told me that I need to make sure that I consider every square inch of a painting. Every square inch has value, and you should be able to take every square inch of your painting and turn them all into separate paintings. That doesn't mean that every square inch needs to be painted the same. It just means that it all needs to be considered equally. Everything needs to be attended to. Everything needs to be interesting. Because that's how you keep people looking at your painting for longer. I just feel like it's been a good challenge for me too, to be able to consider every square inch of a painting and treat it all as important, because it all is important. Even the parts that I'm like not loving painting and I'm not super interested in painting, I think it's important to still consider them and treat them all equally and the same. I think I mentioned this in my last video, but I've been feeling so excited and inspired lately about painting. I was thinking the other day that painting a portrait of someone is a lot like how a writer describes a character. The way you paint, the texture you use, your application, it's all a description of a person, and I feel like that's super interesting. It's just a super interesting thing to think about. You're basically like informing people through paint, and I love that. I know that sounds really romanticized, but that's how I feel. Deal with it. Anyway, yeah, I'm just really excited to start new projects and do new things. And I don't know where this energy is coming from because I've been exhausted. Like I said, my sleeping schedule has been absolutely wild, but somehow I still have this energy inside me to want to paint and do new things and feel inspired. Part of me thinks that all of this energy, though, is coming from just like all of the new stuff that's happening in my life lately, like going back to work again, and subsequently, since I've gone back to work, I've met like a lot of new people. I've also been like going out to bars and restaurants more, which I feel like you guys have kind of seen, trying new places. And I feel like with all of that new stuff, it's kind of just, I don't know, it's made me feel happier. And like everyone else, like my life has pretty much been the same day in and day out for like a year and a half now. So I just think that the introduction to these new things have really helped my brain and creativity and just coming up with new stuff and feeling fresh again. So even though I'm sort of all over the place right now, I'm still feeling like really inspired, losing my voice, really excited, and I'm just gonna run with it. Anyway, I might just leave this painting here for now because I actually don't know if it's done or not. I feel like I just need more time to stare at it and think. But if there's any changes that I do make, I'll post it on Instagram and then you guys can see the final result. So yeah, I think that's it. I'm sorry that this video was really chill. Am I sorry about it? Like, I'm not sorry about it, but I'm like, maybe you were hoping for something else today, so in that case, if you were, I'm sorry about that. But that's gonna be the end of this video. If you like this video, then give it a like. If you wanna subscribe, then subscribe, and I will see you next week. For I don't know what yet, but I will see you next week. Bye.